Hello, SNA Assassinator. Sorry about that. I think I've reached my limit and I had a second clip. And yeah, this is still the Raw review video, which we're going to continue to talk about what exactly went down tonight. Let's go on and talk about what happened. They showed some footage on what happened behind the scenes, which was Drew McIntyre leave the building. This is where we got Damage Control's Io Sky and Dakota Kai. I mean, not Io Sky. Dakota Kai and Kairi Sane. That's who they are. This is where we got them facing off against Kaden Carter, Katana Chance, which they just attack them. They attacked them from behind before they can have a chance to get started. But it's where once the referee got everything in order with only Dakota Kai and Katana Chance in the ring, is where we got her trying to go for a clothesline. But it's where she was not expecting what Katana Chance was about to do next by going for a leg sliding trip right onto the captain of the team kick. This is where then she hits a right hand right to the face of Kairi Sane off the apron. Turn around here to sling blading running bulldog. This is where he hits a dynamic drop kick right onto Dakota Kai. Then she goes for a leg tripping face buster like Majig. This is where then she tags in Kaden Carter. And that's where then she hits a big splash right onto Dakota Kai right off the apron. This is where then we got but this is where we got this is where somehow Dakota Kai got in control and overpowered Kaden Carter once they got back in the ring. This is where then she tags in Kairi Sane. This is where then we got them trying to go for a double suplex like Majig. But this is where they got distracted by Lyra Valkyria, which I think that was not a smart idea because she started being distracted by Lyra Valkyria. Where Lyra Valkyria was like, hey, I did not appreciate what your girl Io did about a week ago. Was it a week ago? Yeah, where she attacked her, or was it 2 weeks ago? I forget, but this is where Dakota Kai like you deserve that. This is where we got a face plant by Kaden Carter. This is where we got Dakota Kai to try to recollect Kaden Carter. This is where then Kaden Carter try to go for back to belly, but this is where we got Dakota Kai instead go for a reversal and roll her up, but this is where she gets super kicked or booted right to the face by Kaden. This is where we got Kaden and tagged in Katana Chance, but she got on the top rope. This is where they hit the finishing maneuver, the after party, with Kaden Carter with the neck breaker and Katana Chance with the 450. This is where we got the pin from Katana against Dakota. She got the 1, 2, 3, and the winner of this match, the former women's tag team champions, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. And I want to give a huge congratulations to them. That even though this match was a bit short, it still was really good. And it told the story here, like with them being Lyra Valkyria's with that backup, like to help her out. And they seen Lyra in need, so they gave her help, facing off against the two Judgment Day girls, not Judgment Day, Damage Control girls. That's what I meant to say. My apologies. But let me know down in the comments below about this. And do you think they're going to eventually be in a 6-woman tag match in the next couple weeks on the road to Money in the Bank or even afterwards? But anyway, this is where we got a backstage segment which we saw, which was Io Sky then sit down right up in the box structure. This is where then she made a comment saying Damage Control needs to have a change, which I do not know what she meant by that. Are we going to see new members that's going to replace Kairi and Dakota, or just Dakota, or can it be what's going on here? What did Io Sky meant by saying that? Only time will tell what she could be referring to, but let me know down in the comment section right down below that. This is where we got This is where we got the No Intenders match with Sami Zayn sitting with commentary. We got the Celtic Warrior Sheamus taking on the former NXT champion and the dog faced Gremlin Jr. himself, Braun Breaker, or the Beast. The beast that breaks people in half, which I believe they're continuing to try to promote him as the next Brock Lesnar in WWE. Here's where the Sheamus is no matter what you achieve in WWE, you're still a kid right now. And this is where the Sheamus then thought chuckling a little. And then Braun Breaker was not playing around. He was just completely angry, but he did hold it in for a second to give a huge grin. He's like, yeah, maybe you're right, Sheamus. Like, I am just a kid. But I'm a kid that's going to amaze you. This is where the Sheamus is like, I like to see that be put on the test. That's where they start playing grapple gang, I guess you could say. I don't understand why they even call it that. This is where they push each other off each other. Let's see that they're both it was the dead tie on who won the war, which they both gave a good impression, but this is where we finally saw the winner of the grappling war, and that was Braun Breaker in the second round, which we saw Sheamus dipped him right into the right corner ropes, but this is where he pushes him right into the upper left side. This is where he started holding on to him, trying to what's that choke here, but this is where Sheamus then grab on to his head. This is where the referee was like, all right, stop it. Let go of each other like 1, 2, 3, including you, Braun. This is where Braun Breaker like, yeah, but he's holding on to me. This is where he's like, I got him too. This is where he's like, okay, if you want to rip each other's heads off, kindly do it right into the middle of the ring. This is where Sheamus is like, with pleasure, fella. And then this is where then he grab onto his head. This is where he slams it right into the ground. This is where he did not rip it right off, but he did I banged it up very badly, but this is where Braun Breaker managed to get back up and no sweat. This is where then no blood, I should say. This is where then we got Braun Breaker then got him to a back to belly maneuver once he got back up, but this is where then Sheamus then grab onto his headlock. This is where then he tried to go for a headlock or arm bar headlock. This is where you got Sheamus is like, oh, what are you gonna do now, fella? Then we got Braun Breaker's like, oh, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. This is where he didn't grapple again. I was like, perhaps you should do something different, Braun, because you did this about 75 different times. Like, now it's time for a change, which we finally did when they both fell out of the left side of the ringside area. This is where we got Braun Breaker then and hit a big right hook right into the midsection. This is where he gave a couple of blows right into the head in the midsection onto Sheamus until they got back in the ring. This is where Sheamus tried to go for a comeback with the double axe handles and try to go for a power clothesline, double axe handle, then a clothesline right to the bottom right side. Then followed up with a power slam, but this is where Braun Breaker ducks out of the clothesline. This is where then we got Braun Breaker then dodges out of a shoulder tackle Sheamus had when he was going to the upper corner. This is where then he went right through there and like if it was what's that like a western door goes forward and back. This is where he went to the bottom corner, hit a big shoulder tackle or a big arm a clothesline tackle combo right onto Sheamus. He was like, nobody can defeat the dog beast or whatever they're called, which I'm not sure what that kind of hybrid creature is that, but maybe some kind of a monster like dog, I guess you could say, with some big teeth and horns. But anyway, this is where then he starts shouldering Sheamus right into the midsection. Braun Breaker then hit a big right hand to the face of the Celtic Warrior. This is where he went to the left side. This is where he tried to go for a spear, but this is where Sheamus then picks him up, spin him around, hits the Irish Curse backbreaker right onto to the former NXT champion. This is where we got Sheamus then send him right to the upper right corner side. This is where then we got Sheamus then and pick him up, put him right in the shoulders. This is where he hits a four-leaf plunge right into the middle of the ring. This is where then we go for a cover, the Sheamus exploder suplex right onto the Celtic Warrior. This is where then we got Sami Zayn was wondering who could possibly be his next challenger. Maybe this is where we got Braun Breaker then send him right to the outside. This is where we got both men were playing wrestling tennis, First, it was like, Braun Breaker, hot shotted him right off the apron when he was thrown in the outside. This where then we got Braun Breaker to run to the left side, then hit a big knee right into the side, and the left side is where Sheamus lands it right onto the ground and on the announce table. This is where then we got Braun Breaker's like, are you ready to give up now? They give him give a shot at my Intercontinental Championship. And then this is where I was like, man, what is up with heel wrestlers claiming that the Intercontinental Championship is theirs and they haven't even won the title, at least not yet. And these guys happen to be wearing onesies. But yeah, let's move on. We saw him in a flying clothesline, landing right onto Sheamus, which they went over the announcer's table. Luckily, Pat McAfee and Michael Cole noticed this a mile away and move out of the way right on time. This is where then we got what else that happened? They both got back in the ring, and then this where we saw Sheamus was getting to come back after we got a brutal beatdown from the Celtic Warrior. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, Sheamus came. Once they got back in the ring, Sheamus got back in control. He hit the clothesline right onto Braun Breaker on the bottom right side. Go for like a fallaway Irish curse Uranagi slam. Like this is where he tried to go for a cover, but this is where we got Braun Breaker got the right shoulder up at 2.9999999. That was minus 0.1 away from being 3. This is where he tried to go for the white noise, but this is where we got Braun Breaker start elbowing him until we saw the top turnbuckle in the upper right side. I mean, not the lower right side is where he's like, this gives me an idea. Like I'm about to hit the most biggest and super avalanche white noise that I've ever hit on any of my opponents. This is where Braun Breaker foot right beneath, under him. This is where he hits a couple of right hands to his back. Then turn him around, try to give him a right hand. But this is where we got Sheamus then hit a right hand right back, playing wrestling tennis, right to the bottom right corner. This is where the Sheamus was winning the wrestling tennis, like winning 3 straight hits in a row with his arm like tennis racket. This is where the Braun Breaker kind of botched the Hurricane Rana. I guess I say that's probably the reason why I said that it didn't get the number 1 spot because obviously the botch, because Braun Breaker act, but so what? Like that doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Like it's nothing bad. It's just that it could have been a bit better, but they just lost their balance and it's not easy to do moves in the top rope. Just ask Jay Cargill, and not just a joke because it's called a high risk maneuver for a good reason because it's very unpredictable. Like you'll be lucky if you know the top rope turnbuckles, like if it's the back of your hand. But Braun Breaker then took off his suspenders. Is where did he try to go for a spear? But this is where somehow surprisingly Sheamus got up from that botch. This is where then Sheamus finally hits the white noise right on in the middle of the ring. This is where the Sheamus go for his finisher, which is the brogue kick. This is where we got but it's where he was like, I have a better idea. I'll just Irish whip him right to the upper left side. And I was like, Sheamus, you had him right where you want him. Like you should have just put him away and just won in kayfabe, of course. But this is where we got Braun Breaker bouncing off to the upper left side, hit the big clothesline. This is where he went to the opposite direction in the upper corner turnbuckle. Except this time he went towards the right. I go for broken in half spear, whatever it's called, is where whatever he calls it, is where he tried to go for. This is where we got Sheamus to hit a brogue knee right into the face, and that's where he tried to go for a here. This is where we got Braun Breaker got the shoulder up at 2.9999999. Double triple nine minus 0 point away from being 3. And I was like, man, this knee strike version of the brogue kick, it does not get enough appreciation as it already gets. It's a very underrated move that you could hit on your opponents. This is where then Sheamus is like, oh, come on, that should have been 3. Like, because he just landed right onto his knee, clearly landed right into his face. He hit right into his face. Like, even though Braun Breaker took him more painful moves right into the face, but this move should have got me to win. But this is where we got Sheamus, then put him right onto the had Braun Breaker right into the bottom corner apron. This is where then Sheamus then started hitting some right-handed beats to the chest, did 10 beats to the bar. Bottom, yeah, that's what they called. This is where then Sheamus was like, "Are y'all getting loud? Like I can't hear you." And I was assuming that the 10 beats to the bottom like was a signature move. Now it used to just be his normal maneuver. But this is where we look like we were about to see Sheamus give Braun Breaker his first loss on the main roster. But maybe it was a good thing he didn't hurry. They didn't hurry up and give him a loss unless he's already champion. But this is where Sheamus started beating like right, broke, and he probably gotten away with this win if it wasn't for a meddling child, or one of Bowser's meddling childs. Like, let me rephrase that, and that was none of Ludwig Kaiser. This is where he came in and started beating up. And then he started beating up Sheamus until Sheamus finally came back and then hit him. He hit him face first right into Simba the Steel. Or no, it was Rita the ring post on the upper right side, right above Simba the Steel steps. Then hit him face first right on the Alan the announce table. This is where then he threw him over the barricade and sent him right to the timekeeper's area. But this is where Braun Breaker came out like an angry bull, like running around the bull. Around the bull ring. This is where then he goes for a spear, like, and he's like, if you mess with the bull, you're gonna get the horns. And Sheamus definitely did got the horns after he turned around, which that was probably not a smart move from the Celtic Warrior. He got hit in half, and it seemed like that he got the guarantee, but not until the match was over. Like, all thanks to Ludwig Kaiser. I think this is the only loss that Braun Breaker is gonna be getting in the main roster in the foreseeable future. This is where we got officials like